You're tuned into Gay SA Radio, South Africa's premier LGBT radio station.
I have on the phone line Bruce Walker from Pretoria LGBTI Pride. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, people. How are you?
Good. You are, of course, the main man there at Pretoria Pride. Perhaps we can start the conversation and telling us a bit about how you got involved with this, how you started it, and the reasons why.
Okay, we've been going 3 years now. Well, the fourth year. We've had 3 so far. Started 2013. The reason mainly behind it was, I've got the club in Pretoria, and people decided, why must you always travel to Joburg? And, there's a lot of gay people here, and it's the capital of South Africa, and let us start our own pride here and show unity in Pretoria. So we buckled down and said, okay, let's bite the bullet and try to get it going. And it was a bit of a slog and a nightmare, but, you've got to start small and start somewhere. Even if though it was the first one in the sand pit, we always call it. But yeah, we've got it going.
Fantastic.
Any obstacles.
Okay, and of course, organizing big events like this, of course, like you say, you have to start small and then learn some lessons along the way. What are those lessons? What did you learn from the experience so far?
A few things. You'll always get uphill, and you'll always get people trying to stop you from doing things. You get, as I say, the gay community is its own worst enemy. Instead of standing together like we used to in the past, we always get detractors and people saying, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oops, we seem to have lost Bruce there. Let me just quickly get him back on the line for you. Apologies there. We seem to have lost Bruce, but we got him back on the line. Sorry, Bruce, you were saying, the gay community seems to be its own worst enemy, and, people are, fighting against each other and doing a lot of criticism. Yeah.
Well, as I said, you get started somewhere and you add every single year. You can't put everything that you want to do down in the first year. I mean, the straight community was against us, and it's hard enough getting the gay community also pulling at your strings, trying to pull you down. Pride is open to everybody, so they must just say, listen, okay, we're getting going, let us join, let us work together. I mean, the old days when we started Pride in Johannesburg, the first one, 5 years ago or so, we always had meetings and said, let us do it, and we did it. And in public, we all supported each other, but behind closed doors, when we had meetings, we would bring our differences to the table, but we never took it out in public, which, we seem to do now. Rather instead of saying, okay, guys, let us, what can we do? That's a couple of the points that I've learned. And I've learned also that we will get better as we get stronger in the community. We will get better at what we're doing.
So, Bruce, how many people have been attending the past 3 prides?
Well, the first one we estimated about 3,500 to 4,000, which was a good start. And we estimating not us, well, we get figures from what the Metro Police and the SAP, because they've got ways of working out things. And Metro thought there was about 6,000 to 8,000 on the parade, and approximately the same stayed during the day. So I think we've got it up to about 8.5 at the moment last year.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's showing the growth of about 25% a year. So if we go on 25% from last year to this year, I mean, we just hope we're going to have that. We will get us close to the 10,000 odd mark. So yes, that's what we're expecting this year.
Now, just a follow-up question. In the past, obviously, you have the event at the rugby club in Centurion, so you have the stage and the stalls and all that stuff, but you also have a parade that goes through the streets?
Yeah, we have a parade. It's about 4.1 kilometers long. It takes nearly an hour to walk because we go at a slow pace. There's a lot of changes. We're looking at taking the route up to Jean Avenue, but then that'll add on about another kilometer. So we just thinking about it at the moment. We have to go through Metro Police with that, because at the moment we just go around Centurion more, and They are building a big conference center there, so that in a year's time will be quite nice. It will bring a lot of people to viewing from there. There's not much place for viewing for spectators. So if it goes up to Jean Avenue, and I think if people get floats, etc., so that in the long run, I think is what we plan to do. But as Jean Avenue is a big road, Metro will have to help us a lot more with traffic. So yeah, that's the goal coming forward.
Okay, we're discussing with Bruce Walker here from Pretoria Pride, and we're going to talk about this year's event, the theme, the inclusivity, who to expect and what to expect from Pretoria Pride. That's all coming up, but let's first dive into Pretoria Pride, and I'm still chatting to Bruce from Pretoria LGBTI Pride. Now, Bruce has been telling us a little bit about the history, how it started, and how many people have attended the past sort of events. So, Bruce, what are the plans for this year? Tell us, first of all, the theme and how people should dress for Pretoria Pride.
Well, the theme this year came from the committee meeting and was put forward by Chris Tata, which is actually a good theme. It's called Raise Your Flag in Unity. We're trying to bring the whole community together, but now we say raise your flag, and that is, I didn't know that there's like 27 or 28 different flags inside the gay community, from like the bears, the lesbians, transsexual, bisexual, asexual, all these type of things. And we're going to be launching a flag every week coming up, and if you can say, I identify with that, and that's the flag, like the bears know their flags, the lesbians know them, and bring your flag and bring the whole community together, show that we're unity and have all these colors. I mean, you can dress in the colors of the flag that you like, and that's basically it. So just come together and say, listen, here we are, this is my flag, I'm part of this community, we're all part of the gay community, though there are different segments of the gay community. So let us all come together and move forward. So that's basically the thinking behind it.
Oh, cool. We were talking about it the other day. We are a subculture, and there's so many different subcultures within our subculture. So very interesting that you bring them all together. The other thing also is that, sometimes you go to some of these events and they seem to be either all white or all black. It's so hard to get, the integration between the races, especially in our community, and so much racism also within the LGBTI community. What are your plans for inclusivity and to draw people of all races to this event?
All right. Well, number one, we try to make it as affordable as possible. So there's no cost. This year we've dropped the costs of entering the parade itself. So you can come on if you wanted to bring a car or vehicle like that or float. I know there was a cost involved, but now because we're getting a bit bigger and we're making a little bit more money towards, we don't have that cost to add on to the public liability, because the public liability just for the parade itself, to have it covered with public liability for the day, and that used to start at about 10,000. Now, because it's our fourth one, they brought it down, so we're looking at about 6,000 rand for the day just to have the public liability. So that's come down. So we said, okay, let's waive the cost of the float to get more people on that way, and we make it a free event for people to come and enjoy the day. The only cost we get a bit of money back is from the and that gives us money back that way. And we're also looking, as we said, if we get it's a community event. It's for the people. I'll just with the committee sit down and say, listen, let us get it going. This is the first year that we've got a very good and dynamic committee and a group of people that are working together to make it better. And we will make whatever people want to do on the parade, or on the day. We try to get as many different types of artists. But, as we said, we get the artists, they give their time and they perform on the stage. We have got a few drag queens, black drag queens. We're looking at another black DJ. So we've got white, black, coloured. We're trying our best to get. And touch wood, if we get the correct sponsor this year, we are looking at getting 2 buses to come in from like Mamelodi, etc. So we will get free transport that way. They're busy working on that. So we're getting better all the time. We will go out of our way to help anybody. If they come to us and say, listen, it's going to cost us X amount for transport from Polokwane, for instance, if there's people coming down. Let us try to see how we can help, even if we say, listen, we've got a sponsor for cold drinks and food, so if you get here, we'll be able to help you out with this and things like that. So let us work together and say, listen, this is what we can do, this is what we can't do, and as the sponsors get better, we will be able to do more things, you know. So that's the basic outline of trying our best to get as many people and as many communities involved as possible.
That's fantastic. And now the venue is that rugby club close to the Gautrain station. Tell us more about the venue and the plans for setting it up, how you're going to do that.
Yeah, this year we've changed it slightly. We've got somebody that's going to give us a lot more shade, because that was sorely needed last year. There was a lot of complaints that there isn't enough shade, so we are putting up marquee tops around the place so people can bring blankets, and we are going to put like little books and things out. We've got a few more bars stretched out a bit, so we're trying to make that easier for the people. It's close to the Gautrain, so people, if they want to, they can park their car even on the side of Pretoria and just park the Gautrain through, or from Johannesburg, or even from Oxford, the airport, and jump on from that way. So that helps a lot. There is lots of parking, because we use the same parking as the cricket stadium. That's Super Sport Park. So there is parking there. And they are opening up the bottom field. The cricket club will charge, it's not run by us, they'll charge 10 Rand for safe parking at the back, and it's easier to get onto the field from there. So what we're also going to do is the stage this year is being supplied by Coca-Cola, so they've got a TV screen for us. They're putting that up, and there'll be enough toilets for everybody. And the flea market, we're putting it more into the middle of the field, a bit closer to the people, and a whole row of food vendors. So it'll be like a food hall on the other side. So we'll just tweak as we go along.
It sounds like it's going to be a great Pride, and we're going to break for keep on talking to Bruce, and we'll talk about the parade itself, the safety, and the costs involved, and those sort of things. So keep streaming Gay SA Radio.
Gay SA Radio, where you are family.
Still on the line, we have Bruce Walker, the organizer of Pretoria LGBTI Pride that's taking place here in Tshwane, the capital city, in Centurion at the rugby club there, and that's on the 1st of October. And we've been speaking about the history of Pride, the theme, which is Raise Your Flag, very interesting theme for the year, and how they would have lots of people from all races and all sorts of people attending that. Bruce, if you're saying you're expecting here in the region of 10,000 people, how do you control the crowds, and how do you ensure safety for people attending the event?
Yeah, first of all, we go through what they call the JOC process, which is the Joint Operations Committee with the council. They give you a whole lot of criteria what you have to do. We've got to have paramedics, we've got to have security, we've got to have SAP, we've got to have Metro Police. So they've always got to give their go-ahead, and the fire department. So they've got to give their 5 cents worth. You have meetings with them, and they say, right, this is what we will do. And the first year we had to pay for Metro Police to be there on the day, but now that we've got through our registering of the Section 21, we can waiver that. So that's another cost that was dropped by the side. Metro Police, I think, was 6,000 to close the roads. Now, because we Section 21, and it's for the gay community, and they waiver those costs now. The Metro Police and SAP help us on the parade. We do have volunteers that are marshals for the parade, which we always ask for. People can come forward and be a marshal on the day. Last year we had the bikes on bikes in the front, which helped a lot. They sort of helped close the roads as we went, which they call a rolling roadblock. Then the rugby club is quite nice because it's completely fenced in, so that's a bit of a saving there, and security-wise, it helps with the crowd control. So we've got to monitor the doors and the bars and people there to make sure they're safe. So we get security on the day to patrol around. So that's basically how we do it, and it's been touch wood, it's been working well so far, and we'll stick to that and move it forward. You know, as it gets bigger, we have to increase each time. The medics that come on the day, Chantal, she helps us a lot. She just gives us at the basic cost of the medics and the ambulance. They don't charge us a fee, extra fee, so they donate their time, which was rescue med, which helps us a lot. I mean, to pay a doctor a full fee, you know what you would have to pay, because you have to have a doctor on the day, and you've got to have a certain amount of medics and ambulance, etc. So that does add up, and thank goodness for her, she helps us a lot there.
Okay, because the reason I asked that question is the old Pretoria Joburg Pride, the last one I went to on the day, there were quite a number of pickpockets and people just sort of coming on and doing that. So it's good to hear that you've got security and so on. Do you actually charge at the gate, or is the entry free?
No, it's free entry. It's only the clubhouse, which this year Red Square have stepped on board, so they're making it a more plush area. They're putting a big what we call one of those nomads across the one side, and putting in a lot of nice chairs and an extra bar inside there. So it will be, I mean, we can take 300 odd people at the clubhouse, and that's just 100 Rand fee. That's just to help towards the cover of the costs of Pride. I mean, Pride, where it stands at the moment is about 212,000 to put on. That's what the budget is, if you add them all together. So, I mean, we get maybe 30,000 back from the clubhouse. So that's off that 200,000 Rand. So that's why that's the only fee. It's got its own toilet, so you don't have to use the portaloos. I know some people hate using them. There will be, as I said, a lot more shade and more bars, and you can get everything you need at the top there. So it would be able to walk in and out, and it's just, and we've made the part of the bank. If you want to bring a blanket, you can also bring a blanket and sit on the bank and watch everything from there. So that's just, so it's not really an exclusive area. It's like saying, listen, this is a donation towards Pride. You'll buy this 100 Rand tickets and you can sit here and then carry on like normal. So that's the whole thought process behind the clubhouse.
But now it seems to me, like you say, it's a really expensive exercise, this, and where do you get the money from to cover all these costs if you don't charge at the door?
Yeah, what we do is we get money back from the bar. It's not a lot of money. I mean, it's expensive to put up and set up. At the moment, between Emil Faber and myself, Pride is running at a loss so far for the first 300,000 Rand. So we put that money in. We've covered to make sure all the suppliers get paid. We think that by the end of next year or end of this year's Pride, we will be able to say, listen, Pride is self-funding. I mean, if you just look at it, we've got to put up a certain amount of fencing on the day, on the fields, by the bars, etc., and that sets you back another, close to 20,000 Rand. You have to deliver it and bring it up, and then we have to put in toilets for the day. That's another 15,000 Rand. So if you just look at that way, I mean, the clubhouse doesn't cost for that, and we need a track record before you can actually attract sponsors. The sponsor he's not going to come along and say, listen, okay, I'll give you this, but what have you done? What are you going to give me in return? Well, we're going to expose you in the gay community. We're going to have some amount of people there. You can show your brand and show your loyalty to the community. And it's basically that. This now, the fourth year, we have got some nice sponsors that are now knocking on the door and saying, listen, let us now get involved. How can we do it? And it's mainly the liquor sponsors that come to the table at the moment. And where we desperately need people is, I mean, we don't really, if somebody can come to us and say, listen, we can save you this, i.e. like the printing of parking boards, entry boards, we've got to put up saying no alcohol is allowed to be taken out of the venue, enter at your own risk, parking areas, this is toilet areas. So just printing of signs, for instance, you say if somebody's got a printing company, they say, listen, we will print the signs for you, that's a cost off our backs. So we're not saying to you, give us money. give us some infrastructure. So anything like that, if somebody wants to come along, we at the moment looking at doing our own water. So if you want to put your logo on the water, it'll cost R1,000 to put your logo on the water that will be sold on the day. So, and then it's R1,000 for a logo, and you're going to get nearly 3,000 bottles of water with your name on it. So with that, R1,000 each, it covers the cost of the water, so we'll be able to sell the water and get costs back that way. So that's basically how we're looking at moving forward. Anybody can come along and say, listen, Bruce, we've got this, how can we use it? Somebody comes along and says, listen, we've got a company that can do marquees, they can give it to us at cost, just pay the difference, or pay the transport and labour and things like that. We'll take it with open arms.
Bruce, something we haven't spoken about is the stalls. You were saying there are going to be bar areas, but certainly you're going to have stalls also, people selling, food and all sorts of interesting stuff.
Yeah, we've got the food market area where anybody can sell whatever they want to. The only thing they can't sell there is alcohol, because that's usually, you need a liquor license to it, and I don't think they'll get it on the day. If you've got gay goodies, that people come and sell flags, etc. If you do tattoos and things like that, I think it's R600 for a store, offhand if I remember correctly. That's 600 for the day. Then food, if you come, you need to be compliant by the bylaws. You need a health certificate that you're actually compliant to sell food to the public. I think those are about 900 or 1,000 for the day. So you can come there and sell whatever you like for the day. Just register and have your certificate. And then, if the health guy comes around and says, here we are, those have got to be on file. And it's hunky-dory. So it's up to you to come along and say, listen, I want to do this. Mail us. We will send you the forms, and you're welcome to come. Set up on the morning, and away you go.
Fantastic. So if people want to book stalls with you, or maybe even perform on the stage, how do they get hold of you? How do they contact?
Well, they can go to Facebook. My contact details are there. As we get more people involved in different areas of things, like Rebecca will be doing the entertainment. We'll post her email so people can email her direct, because everybody gives up their time. So sometimes it's a bit hard to get hold of her, unless she performs in the evenings and works in the day. So I think maybe email is the best with her, but they can just send us a message on Facebook, and I'll get hold of you immediately and give you my contact details. Or they can just email me direct. It's just Bruce Walker @Arburst, and then I'll help them out with whichever way they want.
Fantastic. Now, just to end off our conversation, Bruce, people are saying, we are free, the laws protect us. Why should we come to Pride? Why should people attend Pretoria Pride?
That's the best question so far the whole day. Number one, the most important thing about Pride, that people say, why must we have a gay Pride? We've got rights, etc., etc. When we started Johannesburg Pride, it was to show the strength of the community. If we get along and we say, listen, there's the powers that be say yes. If they look at Johannesburg, there's 20,000. Pretoria, there's 20,000. Cape Town, there's 15. Durban. It's showing that the gay community is a force to be reckoned with. So what they're saying is, please, we are here. Don't mess with our rights, which you have given us. And we are, number one, it's here, even though different people have the right to celebrate rights in their own way. Let us come together. If you don't like the way it's a big party, etc., and whatever, that's your prerogative. And the other people, we do it this way so that we can fund it to have the day, and just to show that this is a strong community. It's a community in union. That if something does happen, if the ANC government stand up and say, listen, we're changing the constitution, we're changing this, that, and the other, they can say, oh, you know what, the gay community is a big block of community, and they do stand together, no matter what. So that's the main reason. We've just got to say, listen, we are a community. And, if we have something that happens, let us all get, years ago, Mugabe arrived at the airport, and a whole bunch of us went there and said, listen, when his car comes out through here, we're going to help them with eggs. They took him via the back door. So that was a showing of a strength of the community, that we could actually have another nation's leader not come through the front of those young smuts, we will take them out the back door. So, let us show that, listen, we are a strength, we are in unity, and let us move forward as a community. That's the whole basic behind it.
Thank you so much, Bruce. So nice chatting with you. And of course, every Friday here on Gay SA Radio, we will be having an interview with somebody from Pride, looking at some of the artists. I see some of the artists are already confirmed, so we'll be doing that. And of course, Gay SA Radio is solidly supporting Pretoria Pride. Thanks, Bruce. A final word from you for our listeners to encourage them to attend Pride.
Yeah, come and enjoy the day. Come and enjoy it the way you want to enjoy it. If you want to just sit there and clap hands, or you want to dance and support different gay businesses in their ventures, a lot of them will have their little stalls there and showing that this is what you can do, so you can actually show your support via that. And come in and say, listen, let me enjoy the day I want to. Let me dress how I want to. And I want to be part of this community, and it's also a larger time. It's a first stepping stone for people to come out and say, listen, here's my boyfriend, that's me, and here's my girlfriend. This is what we're going to be doing, and it's your day. Come and do what you want to on the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was Bruce Walker. Thanks, Bruce. We'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks a lot.
You have a fabulous day.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Bye. That was Bruce Walker, the Chief in Charge of Pretoria Pride, giving us all the background, the history, and the reasons why we should be supporting Pretoria Pride. And in fact, all the prides, doesn't matter where you are in the country. There are so many prides all over the country. Durban, Joburg, Ekurhuleni, even in Orange Farm had a pride, Polokwane. But Pretoria Pride certainly becoming one of the premier pride events in the country. And if you can attend that day, well, please start saving some money. Start putting in your leave. That is set for Saturday, the 1st of October. And of course, Gay SA Radio is going to raise its own flag there on that day. And we'll be there in full colors, in Technicolor, and bringing you the wonderful music and the wonderful presenters and content here on Gay SA Radio. So that concludes our special this morning on Pretoria Pride. You can stream again next week, Friday, between 8 and 9, when we'll be continuing this conversation and chatting some more people involved in the organization, some of the artists, some of the people having stalls who have been there before. Loads and loads of information coming your way over the next few months. And Pretoria Pride. Raise your flag in unity.
Gay SA Radio, where you are family.